So let's dive right into the lesson. And fell Joseph on the face of his father, and wept over him, and kissed him, and commanded Joseph to his servants, the physicians, to embalm his father. So embalmed the physicians did on Israel, and were required for him 40 days, for such are required the days for the embalming, and mourned for him Egypt 70 days. Now this would reference that all of Egypt mourned with Joseph for 70 days. And when were past the days of his mourning, then spoke Joseph to the household of Pharaoh, saying, If now I have found favor in your eyes, speak please in the hearing of Pharaoh, saying, My father made me swear, saying, Behold, I am dying in my grave that I dug for myself in the land of Canaan. There you shall bury me. Now therefore let me go up, please, and bury my father, and I will return. So he's asking Pharaoh for permission. And Pharaoh said, Go up and bury your father as he made you swear. So do as you say. Be a person of integrity. So went up Joseph to bury his father, and went up with him all the servants of Pharaoh, the elders of his house, and all the elders of the land of Egypt. So a lot of people went with him. And as well as the household of Joseph, his brothers, and house of his father, only the little ones, and their flocks and their herds they left. Meaning they left behind in the land of Goshen. So those didn't, there's flocks, the little children, right? The little ones, the flocks, the herds, those didn't go with him. And there went up with him both chariots of horsemen, and it was gathering very great. And they came to the threshing floor of Atad. Threshing floor is the place where they separated wheat from chaff, which is beyond the Jordan. They mourned there with lamentation great and solemn, and very, very solemn, very, let's look at the word solemn. Very heavy, very great, very difficult. And observed for his father of the mourning 7 days. So he spent 7 days mourning. And when saw the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanite, the mourning at the thrashing floor of Atad, then they said, a mourning deep, this is of Egypt. So they recognized the true sincerity and the strength level of the mourning. Therefore was called its name Abel Mizram, which means meadow of Egypt, beyond the Jordan. So did his sons for him, according as what he had commanded them, for carried him his sons to the land of Canaan, and buried him in the cave of the field of Machpelah, which brought Abraham the field for the possession of his burial place from Ephron the Hittite, before the face of Mamre. And returned Joseph to Egypt, he and his brothers, and all who went up with him to bury his father, after he had buried his father. So basically, after they got done, they went back. And when saw the brothers of Joseph that was dead their father, then they said, Perhaps will hate us Joseph. So they're like, ooh, maybe Joseph is going to be very angry and hate us, and actually may repay us for all the evil which we did to him. So even after everything that takes place, they're still sitting there like, okay, maybe if our dad dies, now all that anger, all that feelings of Joseph is going to come out. So they sent to Joseph, saying, your father commanded before he died, saying, thus you shall say to Joseph, I beg you, forgive please the trespass of your brothers and their sin, for the evil they did to you. Now forgive please the trespass of the servants of the God of your father. Now that kind of sounds like they're making something up. They're just concerned over their life and concerned over their brother hating them. We don't have any inclination as of yet that this was an actual promise between the brothers and dad that actually occurred. And wept Joseph when they spoke to him. And he went also to his brothers and fell down before his face. And they said, behold, we are your servants. And said to them, Joseph, not to be afraid. For in the place of God I'm in God's place. But as for you, meant against me evil, but God meant it for the good, in order to bring about a day like this, to save alive people, many. And therefore not do be afraid. I will provide you for you and your little ones. And he comforted them and spoke kindly to them. So, what's going on? As I said, is that his brothers probably likely made something up because they were scared that once the dad is dead, once their father is dead, Joseph is going to take his retaliation on him. But Joseph, in the spirit of the Lord, comes right out and says, yes, that's not what's going to happen to you. You meant for my harm, but the Lord God meant for my good. And he used it to not only help myself and you, but to help all of Egypt. So dwelt Joseph, that means lived, Joseph in Egypt, he and the house of his father, that would mean his brothers, and lived Joseph 110 years, and saw Joseph of Ephraim to children, the third generation. So he saw a lot of children being born. This would be grandkids or great-grandkids. Also the sons of Machir, the son of Manasseh, were brought up on the knee of Joseph, and said Joseph to his brother, I am dying, but God surely will visit you and bring you out of this land to the land which he swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Take an oath, Joseph, from the sons of Israel, saying, surely will visit God you, and that's Elohim again, plural, and you shall carry up my bones from this place. So died Joseph, being 110 years old, and they embalmed him, just like they did their dad, and he was put in a coffin in Egypt. So what can I give you of this chapter? What meat can I give you? The first thing I'm being told to give you is that there's going to be people in your life that will think out of their nature, out of their flesh. And they will think that because I've done something to you, you're going to do something to me. More specifically, they will think that because they did something to you, that no matter the situation, you're going to get revenge on them when the situation is right. But if you're doing the will of God, if you're walking in the Spirit, you will not need to. And on top of that, you will actually want to do good for them. And more importantly, you will understand in your head that although those people intended for your evil, God will intend it and use it for your good.